of the greatest players in the history of basketball, Willis Reed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a few little tokens that we would like to present to Willis Reed tonight. And our first presentation will be made by the Knicks General Manager, Eddie Donovan.
Willis, I wish you were 28 and well. Will, this is your night. Enjoy it. It doesn't happen to too many people. Personally, I'd like to say thanks to the New York Knickerbockers, Madison Square Garden, and all of New York City. Finally, I want you to know that your old number 19 will be retired permanently. I'm also happy to tell you that the Knicks jersey, your 19, will be in an honored place in the NBA Hall of Fame. I'm also sure it's only a matter of time that you will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And just lastly, for the Donovan clan, we think our lives have been improved by knowing you and being a friend of yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. And ladies and gentlemen, for our next presentation, here is the chairman of the Youth Board of the City of New York, the Honorable Jerry Becker.
The mayor asked me to give you this award tonight, Willis, in recognition of all that you have done for the youth of this city and the fine example that you have set for them. Congratulations. I have another award to give you, and that is the Big Apple Award, which is given to somebody who has given so much to New York City. We love you, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Jerry Becker. And we have one other presentation to make to Willis, our final presentation. Here is the man who succeeded Willis Reed as captain of the New York Knickerbockers, Captain Walt Frazier.
Willis, they forgot to give me a speech, so I'll have to speak from heart. On behalf of the New York Knicks, management, and the players, we present to you this plaque. It's a great honor. Personally, I'm sure I can speak for you and my other teammates that played with you and say that we've all missed you. We've never been the same since you left. Got to get better, though, right? And we just wish you the very best in whatever endeavor you choose to follow after this.
Thank you, Walt.
To the fans of Madison Square Garden, fans of the New York Knickerbockers, to the management, players, to my old coach, Red Holzman, and to all the people who possibly made it possible for me to stand here tonight, I'd like to say thank you. Maybe in your own way, you said that I possibly enriching your lives, but I think that by being in New York City and playing for some of the most devoted fans in the world that I think you enriched my life also. The people that I met in New York, starting from my first coach, Eddie Donovan, to Harry Gallatin, Dick McGuire, and then to Red Holzman, along with all the people in the management and so many people I met in New York, has also been an influence on my life and also inspired me in many ways. Inspiration comes from a lot of places and not necessarily always from somebody that you know that's famous. It comes from the man, the guy in the street who sometimes say, thank you for having a great ball game. And I thank them for being that truthful and honest with me. There are a lot of people I could go on to think about this, but I think I'm not a man of words. My game was show me, and it was all action. And you can talk a good game as a basketball player, but you have to get on the basketball court and prove it. And the proof is in the pudding. I mean, when you win it, when you do it, and I know how long it took us to do it for the first time, which was probably one of the greatest attainments of my life. And it was an attainment that came about from a lot of people from all parts of the world, like Dave DeBusschere, Walt Frazier, Dick Barnett, all the guys who were a part of that first New York Knicks 1970 championship team. These guys, all of them made it possible for me to stand here tonight, and I'd like to say to them, thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce one person, and it's only one person I'd like to introduce, because if it wasn't for this man, I would not have ever played basketball. It was the coach of my high school team, a little school that only had less than 200 kids in the high school department, who saw me as a ninth grader, 6'5", clumsy, with size 13 shoes, and say, come out for basketball. And this man, if it wasn't for his time, his devotion, and his loyalty and foresight, that maybe that I had something. And I guess in a lot of ways he was more my father than my father, because I used to live on every word that he used to say. And that's my former high school coach, and I'd like to introduce him to you tonight, and his name is Lyndon Stone. It is indeed a pleasure to be the first to be numbered to be retired, but I'm sure that there will be other numbers along with me up there one day to be retired, because I think I would be very lonely with number 19 hanging on there by itself, because basketball is a game of many people and many devotions, and it's a game that is played by a group of people. And so I would like to come back, hopefully, to the next number that's retired by the New York Knicks, and I'd like to say it's been my pleasure. New York Knicks has meant a lot to me in my life, and thank you very much for being so real. Thank you.
Thank you, Willis. Let's give him a real Madison Square Garden send-off. Willis Reed.
Here to serve as our master of ceremonies for the occasion, a former New York Knickerbockers ball boy, now the voice of the Knicks on TV and radio, basketball's original yes man, Marv Albert.
And now the #1 draft choice of the Knicks back in 1967. He played 10 brilliant seasons in the Knicks backcourt, leads the Knicks in points, assists, playoff scoring average, playoff assists, selected 7 times to the NBA's all-defensive team, one of the league's magnificent clutch performance, Walt Clyde Frazier. So we feel it's only appropriate that our first presentation tonight come from one of your fans. His name is Kenneth Dublin, and since the age of 5, Kenneth has been preparing a scrapbook that he hopes someday he would be able to give to you. So today, Kenneth, who is 15 years old, and on behalf of all Walt Frazier fans, he would like to present you with this gift. Kenneth? Kenneth Dublin.
An appreciation, I think one of the greatest honors that you can bestow on any athlete is the honor of having his number retired. My number's retired. And it is my pleasure to present to Walt Frazier a jersey that he's worn and everybody in New York City knows as number 10, belonging to Clyde, that will be retired officially along with mine in New York City.
Most of all, my teammates, guys that I played with, that believed in my confidence and wanted me to have the ball in pressure situations. I'm sure without them I would have been good, but because of them, I was great. And because of you, I'm sure we won 2 championships. I know that there were nights that I stood on this floor and I thought I could conquer anything. And most of the time I did, but it was all because of the fans and being a motivating factor, the standing ovations, being the 6th man on the floor. These are all memories that I'll never forget. And I just like to say thanks, New York, for everything.
The word defense was seemingly invented. And the man we are honoring tonight, number 22, Dave DeBusschere.
And of course, the rest of the
DeBusschere family, his wife Jerry, along with sons Peter and Dennis, and Dave's daughter Michelle, who is celebrating a birthday today. In fact, from the New York Knicks, for Michelle on her birthday, a presentation of a picture of number 22, Dave DeBusschere.
On behalf of your teammates, those here tonight and those who couldn't make it, on behalf of all your friends, those here tonight and those who couldn't make it, I want to present you with this silver tray. It expresses our respect for you as a person, for your strength, and for your honesty. It also expresses our appreciation to you for the screens and the passes and the rebounds and most of all the defense. And so tonight, for all of us, we're proud to share this night when you rightfully join Willis and Clyde with your jersey on the roof. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. And now, here's the captain, Willis Reed.
Thank you very much. It's indeed a pleasure for me to be here. And I'd like to say to Senator Bradley, we're glad to see him here, but he cannot get in the votes in New York State. So remember that. But it's indeed a pleasure. I think it is one of the tremendous honor of all the things that a guy gets. He gets trophies, he gets all kinds of awards. But once a guy has quit playing the game of basketball, to have his number retired is probably the greatest of all honors that any man can ever have bestowed on him. And it is indeed my pleasure to have been the first, Clyde the second, and now for Dave DeBusschere, who was Mr. Defense, Mr. Hard of the 1970 and 73 championship team, to have his number retired. It is indeed my pleasure to present this to Dave DeBusschere. Thank you very much.
I'm going to make this very brief, really. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I am very, very proud. I am very honored. And besides that, I'm overwhelmed. I am here with my family, and it just, to me, is the most exciting night I've had since I retired night here 7 years ago. And I love you people. I love you. I love you. There's a lot of people here that are very close and dear friends of mine, and for that I'm very thankful that they can share this night with me. The teammates. When you win a championship, there's very few things in life that are more exciting than to be known as the best in your business. And when you win a world championship and you fought all year, I can only say this to the players today, there's nothing like it in the world. Everything is secondary. It's beautiful. I certainly want to thank the Garden management for the night, and a special thanks to the guy that brought me to New York, Eddie Donovan, who was a solid guy, and obviously to all the former teammates. It's great to see you, and I'm especially proud that my kids can share this night with me, along with my wife. I thank you, I love you, I'll always be.
Congratulations, Dave DeBuscher, and thank you, Marv Albert. At this time, we direct your attention to center court, where a former New York Knickerbocker ball boy who made good will serve as your master of ceremonies for Bill Bradley night. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of the Knicks and Rangers and of NBC Sports, here he is, Marv Albert.
Thank you very much. Thank you and welcome to a very special night in the history of the New York Knicks franchise. Welcome to Bill Bradley night, a night to turn the clock back here at Madison Square Garden. From Crystal City, Missouri, from Princeton University to Oxford, to the New York Knicks, and an illustrious career that spanned 10 years, providing many memorable moments. And this, I'm certain, will be another moment to add to it. With his mother, Susie, his wife, Ernestine, the senator from New Jersey, number 24, Bill Bradley. Career, but also for his participation in the 1964 Olympic Games in Tokyo. Now, to honor Bill's gold medal Olympic achievement, Ken Bastian of the Los Angeles Olympic Organizing Committee will now present Bill with a representation of the Olympic torch, which will be run coast to coast this summer to help raise funds for American youth athletic programs. The torch relay will help youngsters across America to share the Olympic dream in this, the 23rd Olympiad. Thank you, Ken Bastian. Bring on number 22, Bill's one-time roommate, Dave DeBuscher.
Thank you, Marv. It gives me great pleasure tonight to be able to present to Bill, on behalf of the Garden Management all of his former teammates, and all of you fans, an original drawing by Leroy Neiman for Bill to hang in his house of his glorious playing days. Bill, please, come here. Look over here. Also, Bill, your number's being retired tonight, and we thought it would be fitting if we presented to you your old jersey to give to your daughter. There you go. Number 24, you won't see it anymore. It's a great honor and thrill, and I'd like to direct your attention up to the rafters here at Madison Square Garden. If we could get a spotlight up there, that's where number 24 is always going to hang. Congratulations, Bill. We're proud of you. Thank you very much. At a gathering one night in Chicago after a Knick game, a man asked me a question, the following question: do you really like playing basketball? Yes, I answered. Yes, I do. The man said, I think I know what you mean, because I used to play the trumpet in a band. We were good. The last year in college, we had offers to tour and to record. Everyone in the band wanted to, except me. And I said, why didn't you? He said, I don't know. I guess because it wasn't secure, because you didn't know where your next job was coming from, because you were always on the road, because it didn't fit into a life plan. So I went to law school and quit playing the trumpet, except for once in a while. But now I don't have time. And I asked him, do you like the law? And he said, yes, but not like playing the trumpet. For 10 years, I played my trumpet here before all of you. And there is a bond between those who play and those who cheer. And nowhere was that bond stronger than here in the Garden on those nights. Here in the Garden on those nights a decade ago, when you roared, the building shook, and we gave our best.
I've been lucky. I was paid well to do something I loved, and I did love the game. I worked with a talented and wonderful group of human beings. And in the process of traveling with them across America for 10 years, I saw our country whole. But when the game is over, as it is for all of us, life goes on. And only the memories remain. Seeing Willis Reed hobble onto the floor in the 7th game of the 1970 World Championship. Missing the last-second shot against Baltimore right in that corner a year later. Knowing for 24 hours after you've won the championship that you're the best in the world. Going beyond the goosebumps that competition brings, beyond the thrill of victory, to the single play executed with the right blending of human forces so that the moment has an inexorable rightness about it. I rarely thought of myself outside the context of the team. So I'm proud tonight that many of my team members from those years could be here. Proud to join number 19, number 22, and number 10 up there. Proud to say thank you to all those who along the way gave coaching and support and insight. Proud of what we did together. Proud if my accomplishment reaffirms an old truth. Only if you pull together can you succeed. And only if you realize that it's not who scores is important, but who wins is, and how they win is the most important of all. Thank you very much.
Scored more than 17,000 points in the NBA with the Bullets and the Knicks. He was magic, an artist on the court, and one of the most popular athletes ever to play here in New York, and a classy guy, number 15, Earl the Pearl Monroe.
On behalf of all your teammates who respect you so much and who worked so hard with you to win the championship in 1973, I present you with your jersey.
When you're younger, you never realize what things really mean to you. And the older you get, the more you realize that there were memories that you cherished that you'll never be able to recapture. And an instance like this is the type of instance that a person can reflect back on later on in his life and say that, yes, this was the time, this was the greatest moment of my life.
York shooting guard with the unmistakable signature jump shot. Out of Tennessee State by way of Gary, Indiana, an all-star in 1968, a Knickerbocker for 9 years, including both championship seasons. He ranks in the top 10 in Nick Annals in minutes, free throws, field goals, points, and assists. Now working on his doctorate in education at Fordham University. Let's fall back, baby, one more time and pay tribute on his night to number 12, Dick Barnett. Dick is joined at center court by his wife, Irma, year-old son, John, his mother, Etta Carter, and his sister, Jean Tibbs, the Barnett family. And now, the man who orchestrated New York basketball's first world title, 7th all-time, on pro basketball's coaching ladder, and by far, with 613 victories, the winningest coach in New York Knicks history. While he always seemed to downplay his contributions to the franchise's great success, those contributions were indeed unparalleled. A native New Yorker,
City College standout, Basketball Hall of Famer, and a true gentleman, the coach, William Red Holzman. And Red is joined at center court by his wife, Selma, and the daughter, Gail. Now we'd like to ask Walt Frazier and Earl Monroe to present Red and Dick with their specially commissioned drawings by famed sports artist Leroy Neiman on behalf of the New York Knicks. Now, the captain, Willis Reed, will present his teammate and his coach with sterling silver plates engraved with the signature of each member of both championship teams to remember this special night. So these numbers will hang from the rafters. And now here are Senator Bill Bradley and Dave DeBuscher to present your Red with number 613, signifying your wins as Knicks coach. And you, Dick, with uniform number 12, never to be worn again. And now, the moment that we've been waiting for as Red Holzman and Dick Barnett take their rightful place forever in Garden immortality. Red and Dick, it's your moment. From Dick Barnett. Dick.
Needless to say, I'm very excited about this night. I was just happened to be passing by the Garden and thought I would stop in for a few minutes. It's very pleasing to me to have my number retired by Madison Square Garden, being the Parthenon of sports entities, and also really symbolizing not only excellence but tradition and all of those things that we cherish in the world of sports. What I'd like to do very briefly is acknowledge my thanks not only to the people at Madison Square Garden, President Evans, of course Al Bianchi, one of my old teammates at Syracuse. And I would also like to extend my thanks to John Cirilla, the publicity man who has been so gracious to my family and myself, making us very comfortable, making sure that everything was taken care of, and really extending a hand of concern, not only at Tavern on the Green, but also tonight. I would also like to say a few more words about the teammates. It's so good to see so many old faces. The kind of bonding that we established over the years have gone beyond the strict constrictions of race, ethnicity, and religion. And I'm so happy that Senator Bradley had a few words to say. I recall that we used to call Bill other names rather than Senator Bradley, all of them inappropriate for this occasion. I would like to make one other observation to the fans of New York. As I walked around the city and also through the nation, I saw people say that, Dick, we think your number should be retired. And in fact, I ran into one irate brother on the street about a year ago. He said that if all those other chumps' numbers are retired, and I say this with deference, your number should be retired. And my response was, if you really feel that way, why don't you start a groundswell or a movement or write your assembly person or talk to your precinct captain to try to do something about this? He said, well, that won't do any good. You got a guy that might be president on your team and it still hasn't helped you. So I would really not want to make any more comments. I'm just with my family, with my friends here, I'm very elated and happy that my number is being retired. And I hope that the President Knicks will continue the tradition that we set. Thank you very much.
Holzman. Red.
Thank you, Marv. It's a great thrill being out here and being honored along with my team, my former players, and especially to be honored on the same night with Dick Barnett. He was always one of my favorites. We got along very well, and he was a great basketball player, and I'm so happy that his number has been retired. That 613 up there means a lot to me, and there were some great nights, there were some tough nights here. Tonight, I'm a little nervous because this is sort of a different type of thing. It's not the same as the kinds of things we were trying to do in those days. But it's so nice of management, and I have to thank Dick Evans, Jack Diller, Al Bianchi, and John Cirillo. Also, I'd like to thank all my former players for making me such a good coach, and thank my former coaches, Nat Holman and Les Harrison, who's here tonight, and Fuzzy Levain, who always looked out for me. Fuzzy's sitting over there. And I really do want to thank the media, too. I'm going to take just a few seconds there, because I feel they always gave me an even shake. And when I got a little too big for my britches, they put me in my place. So, you know, I think they helped, even though I didn't like some of it. But, so I want to thank them, and also, I really do want to thank my family, my daughter Gail, and my wife Selma, who's here, both here. And you think it was tough facing the press or the fans when we lost? When I had to go home and face Selma after loss, that was tough. But anyway, I know I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the greatest fans in the world, the past and present fans of Madison Square Garden. You people won a lot of games for us, and I do appreciate that. I just want to say, for the present-day Knicks, I feel they're going to be a great ball club. I think we needed patience in those days. They need patience today, and I'm very proud of the progress they've made, and I look forward for them doing some great things. Thank you very, very much. You know.
Thank you very much, Red Holzman, Dick Barnett. Congratulations, and a happy 20th anniversary to the 1970 world champion New York Knicks. Thank you.
Thank you, Marv. You know, all these guys right here, you know, they've all made bets to see that if I was going to cry tonight. Even though I may not shed a tear, you know, you just don't know the joy that I feel inside. I've been 15 years here in New York, 15 years playing, that is, but I've never left, even though, you know, I moved on to other teams and other walks of life. I've never left. I'm always a New Yorker. You know, I first would like to thank all you fans. You know, we've had our ups and our downs. Now, you know we've had our ups and our downs. But I think y'all have definitely showed me that you appreciated everything that I brought to the table every night. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't want to play nowhere but in New York for you guys. I also want to thank all these guys for showing up. My friends, the guys that I played against. I think they showed me that they appreciated also everything that I've done, that they took time out of their schedule to show up. Also, I can't stop, these guys, my ex-teammates, management coaches, college coach, high school coach, trainers, everybody, I mean, these guys, I see guys like Louis Orr who groomed me. He's one of the guys that, he and Trent Tucker, the two guys that I hung out with when I first came here along with Ken Bannister. And, they showed up to support me. They show how good of friends they are. Also, I'd like to take the time out to thank the friends that are all in the audience that came here tonight. I hear one of them whistling up there. He's, one of my fellow Jamaicans who I grew up with from my first move here. I hear them all here whistling. Thank y'all for coming. I'd also like to thank my family. My kids, they over here, they're going to help me raise the banner. My father, my brother, my sisters, my nieces, nephews, all of them. I can't forget these guys right here, because without them, there wouldn't be a me. These guys, they paved the way. They laid the groundwork. I keep hearing everybody saying, who's the greatest Knick of all time? And, I don't think I was the greatest Knick. I see all these guys right here. And, there's no one better than them. No one better than them. And to be put in the same class as these guys, you just don't know how good it makes me feel, to be up there with all these great Knicks. All these great Knicks. And last but not least, I want to thank my mother and my father. Every time when I go home, me and my father, we go to my mother's gravesite, and I tell my father and my mother, thank you to the bottom of my heart for bringing me to this country. Thank you. But, you guys don't know how great it feels to be here tonight, to raise my jersey, put my jersey in the rafters with all these great guys. But I just want to tell y'all thank you very much for all the support that y'all given me through my whole time here and afterwards, because no matter where I go, I can't get away from New York, because you guys are everywhere. Y'all are everywhere. You always come up to me and let me know that y'all appreciate me. I see Spike over here in the crowd. I remember when I first came, Spike, your seat was way up the top when I first came here. Look where you are now. but thank you very much for bestowing this on me. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for all the support that you gave, not only me, but the rest of my teammates. I always will be a Knick, always will be a New Yorker. Thank you very much.
Patrick, it is time now for you to join your daughters Randy and Corey and your son Patrick Jr. and your father Carl to raise your banner to the rafters.
One final time. At center, at 7 feet from Georgetown, number 33, co-captain Patrick Ewing.
Oh,